Everybody, welcome back to Northernlion Plays the Binding of Isaac Afterbirth Plus. Finally starting to eke out just the world's slightest semblance. Oh, Lord. What is this? 3K NKSA11. Rate of fire good, speed good, damage, I mean, could be worse considering the situation. Dare I do it? Dare I use data miner? I guess I will, for now. Speed up, luck down, by the way, good trade. Unfortunately, here's the thing. It's like gambling. I mean, it is gambling. It's just not gambling with money when you use data miner. It's gambling with your life. We don't want Locust of War. This is just as worse than data miner. How many red items can we have this early on? If you're not familiar, and you may not be because it's a bad item that people will lie to you and tell you is good in order to try to trick you into making a mistake. Don't believe them. Data miner, whenever used, ruins your screen. It gives you a stat upgrade and a stat downgrade, or 2 stat upgrades, I think, or 2 stat downgrades. So most of the time I stay away from it. Why is it bad? It sounds like it's relatively balanced. Well, first off, you don't want items to be balanced around goodness and badness. You want them to at least, in tendency, provide a slight upward momentum. See, that's so far so good. We've gotten pretty lucky with it. But where we go wrong is when, well, let me hit you with some hypotheticals. By the way, so happy to see that there is a bomb there. What if we get a damage downgrade? All of a sudden, we go down to like 1.58 damage. No problem. All you have to do is re-roll data miner by using it again in the future, and hopefully you get it up. Well, what if we do it again and it gives us a tiers downgrade? You reach a point where eventually, you know, you've used data miner so much, you can't say no to data miner anymore. Because if you do, your odds of ever recouping the losses that you've taken on are like astronomical. So, right now, I'm not going to deny it, okay? Data miner, I'm not going to say against all odds. I'm just going to say, in general, data miner has done us some very positives so far. It wasn't with no expense, because we did lose luck in order to make it happen. But, relatively, you know, luck down for speed up right now, positive. Luck down for rate of fire increase, positive. We're just nervous about the way that things may proceed in the future. So I want to get rid of this item as soon as possible. You know what I will say, though? I think we have earned a negative data miner use. So if we use data miner and it gives us a damage downgrade, we got to say that right now, so be it. But hopefully, at some point in the near future, we end up coming up with a justifiable spacebar item. But I'm going to keep riding the hot hand for now. If data miner, you know, maybe it's a mea culpa. For a long time, I've suggested that it's horrible and not worth using. Maybe it's coming around to say, hey, dude, you're being a real jerk to me. I would appreciate it if you would stop. At least that one worked. And I'll meet you in the middle. Give you some decent item improvements. Statistical improvements, I should say. Nah, I'm scared. Get out of there. Okay, Jesus Juice is good. Then immediately, wait for it to fade. Shot speed down, damage up. Again, so far so good. But the same thing can happen to you at a casino. You know, you could think that you're set. Oh, hey, it hit red 3 times in a row. Bet the house on red. Oh, turns out you don't have a house anymore. What are you doing betting your whole house on something? What are you going to do with 2 houses if you win? 0 houses? Not good. 1 house, good. 2 houses, what am I going to do with this other house? Sell it? That's a job in and of itself. I think 1 house is the ideal. Stop betting the house on things. It's just making more work for yourself. But really, like, nothing to complain about right now. Try it again. Range down, luck up. I will take that trade as well. Now, with range and shot speed both kind of biting the dust, we do have to accept that things are getting a little spotty in the ability to hit enemies department, but so far it's actually working out extremely easily. I got very little complaints in the complaint department. 19 range, by the way. Notice how far our shots travel on 19 range. And then remember the run I had recently where I had 6 range. So take this range and divide it by 3. If you were one of the people who was like, how'd you lose that run? I don't understand. Divide this range by 3. You'll see how I lost that friggin' run. No questions asked. No questions asked, no questions answered. Whoa, don't walk into that. You know what would be an interesting combination? We've already seen our item room, so we know it's unlikely to happen anytime soon, but Data Miner plus Libra would be a very, very interesting combination. I don't know if you trend upwards on a Data Miner roll. Speed up, shot speed down. Continues to be pretty good, actually. But again, our effective range is now starting to get low enough that, you know... Well, you know, it's like if you spend too much time working, not enough time with your family life's gonna suffer. Spend too much time, you know, hanging out with your boys, not enough time working, your professional life is gonna suffer. That's the danger of Data Miner, is you're always pulling from something to pay something else. You need to add some more stats into the pool at some point to have something to keep drawing on. This is worth, but little dangerous. Sack Dagger. HP is pretty good, though. I'm willing to roll with this. Everything's going just fine. Okay. So what are we going to do? Honestly, I'm going to use Sack Dagger to probably do, like, the majority of close-up damage here. Close-up damage is like close-up magic. It's awesome. We want to use and abuse as much of it as is possible for us. I do want to quickly go to our curse room. With a Bone Heart, there's underrated benefits to Bone Hearts, dude. I thought it was worth a shot. What's the best benefit to a Bone Heart? You can go into a curse room without, well, without many things. Without ruining your deal with the devil chance. Damage down, range up. Again, can't complain. I saw what was going on with Sack Dagger there, but... I think I will use bombs for this. Basically, as of right now, we've traded a bomb for a penny, effectively, as soon as we put this down. Not a good trade, but we got a pill. Pills the tears up. Good trade. Then we trade a key for a lot of resources. That ended up being a positive trade as well. Now, you might think, NL, why are you being so anal about making sure every trade works out for you here? Well, it's because Data Miner's got a certain je ne sais quoi, you know? It's adding a little bit of economic anxiety into what are already some trying times where I've been feeling a little bit more fragile in some of these recent Isaac runs. I will take a speed upgrade. That's not Krampus. Dude, I think we go for it. Damage up, luck down. Totally fine. You might think I'm an idiot for this, and you may well be right. But come on, Gimpy is good. Bone Hearts, it's really like having a replenishing Spirit Heart, is almost the way I see a Bone Heart. No guarantees, but it's pretty solid. All we need to do is, we can generate some Spirit Hearts. Or even just buy some Spirit Hearts. The world's our oyster. This is what we're doing. We're leveraging our future. Or we're leveraging our present in order to make our future happen. It's like an Isaac mortgage, if you will. And that's exactly how that can work. Gimpy immediately making me look like a genius when actually I made a mistake that should have made me look like an idiot. What do you got for me? I'm not going to data mine just yet, because if I data mine right now, I'm not going to be able to see and understand what's happening. But I'll data mine when we finish the room. By the way, #1 item to get us out of a jam here. That was damage for luck again. And that one was just pure luck, which is even better. But, or I should say it was luck for damage, the first one. We traded some of our luck away and got some damage. So far, I'm eating my words on this whole data miner thing. But anyway, perfect item, IV bag. Replaces data miner, which is high on my list of things to do. I gotta be honest with you. I'm taking mom's purse. You know, or mom's bottle of pills. You know why I'm taking mom's bottle of pills? You ever listen to Kenny Rogers? You gotta know when to hold them, know when to fold them, know when to walk away, and know when to run. This is one of the first times in my entire... It might actually be the first time in my Isaac life, and this is not an exaggeration, that I've left... Yeah, go for it. No, we want to see if we can get an arcade. This might be the first time in my entire Isaac career that I've left data miner behind after being extremely satisfied with the job that it did. And I really am extremely satisfied with the job that it did. We picked up way more damage, way more speed, a little bit better rate of fire. I gotta say, you're not innocent yet, okay, data miner? Don't think that you're innocent. It's not like that Our Lady Peace song, you know? We are all innocent. It's not like that. It's a blast from the past. Haven't heard that one in a long time. Our Lady Peace, see, is a very Canadian bit, but they went through a weird kind of period, right? Because they were like a, kind of like a alternative rock band. They're thinking, why, oh yeah, Superman's dead. And then like 6 years later, they're like, you know, we are all innocent. Then that song Life, which was all about like, you know, life is waiting for you. They made like a bunch of feel-good songs. It's like they went through like a born again phase or something like that. And alt rock was still playing their music. Like, are these guys still cool? I don't know what happened to Our Lady Peace. They're still kicking it. It's the only band on earth not from Korea where the lead singer is named Rain. And of course, you know, the Canadian staples. But I'm just saying, on the radio these days, I hear a lot of Superman's Dead. I hear a lot of Naveed. I hear a lot of Clumsy. I'll be waving my hand, watching you drown, etc., etc. Not a whole lot of Life and We Are All Innocent. I'm just, it was a regrettable period in their life. A little bit of a sellout period. But you know what? I would do the same thing. I'm just saying. I'm not a musician. If I were a musician, I'd sell out. But I guess, you know, I gotta think about it because I am a YouTuber, and this is one of the professions most prone to selling out. I'm not talking just about sponsored content. I'm talking about selling out on YouTube is the easiest thing in the world because all you do is like... That totally worked, thank God. All you do is pretend that everything is very, very scary and then like scream over top of the game. I'm not trying to call out anybody in particular because again, who amongst us wouldn't take that opportunity for ourselves if given it? And yet on YouTube, I don't find myself selling out that often. I made Fortnite videos. I laughed when people were like, you're just playing it because it's popular. I'm like, are you kidding me? I'm playing it because I like Malf, Dan, and Austin. And then later, Justin. These videos, they were the worst performing thing on the channel. No, I refuse. I'm very mad that we're in like the Isaac's Heart period right now, where every single run has Isaac's Heart. It's like an item room tax. And I told you, starting July 1st, I don't want to hear jack about taxes anymore. January to June, tax season. July, in the summertime when the living is hot. You can tell I'm almost over my sickness here. You got women on your mind. Almost over my illness. You know, I'm excited but also scared because now, you know, all of my biking anecdotes have been replaced by illness anecdotes. I'm in like put up or shut up territory. I gotta get back out on that bike now that I'm starting to feel a little bit better. Otherwise, you know, this exercise routine has been stopped in its infancy, which is always dangerous, you know? The enemy of routine is illness. Or travel, that's the other one. Like, if you look at the reason I've stopped exercising, like the past 4 times that I've started it, it's been like, went away for 2 weeks, came back, was busy, and then by the, you know, if you reach a month without doing the activity that you were previously obsessed with, it's pretty much over. You know, you got to get back into it. That's why they say strike while the iron's hot. I got like another week and a half before I'm like biking. Why would I ever do that? But in my defense, you know, this illness really knocked it out of me for a long period of time. I'm excited to be back. Ish. I already feel like, I mean, this run has started pretty well, by the way, but I already feel like you can tell I'm getting a little bit better because my Isaac play is, you know, streets ahead of where it was recently. That's not an unironic use of streets ahead. That's an ironic use of streets ahead. Don't get it twisted. More pills, please. Ooh. Ooh. Look at this. Who needs data miner when you're just getting raw stats? No go on the raw stats. My data test is flawless regardless. We don't want to get involved with all the lawyers. Roses, Outcast, 2003. It's called art, sweetie. Look it up. Ooh, I will take. But you have my word, okay? We've been doing a couple Mom's Knife runs. I don't know if it's in a row, but recently here. I'm not gonna shoot the knife too often. Only against enemies that deserve it. For now, with Loki's horns and Sack Dagger, and the Mom transformation, I actually have become a knife. So I am like my own Ludovico technique here. Like this room, I will shoot at. Because these enemies, if we get close, stand a very good chance to hit us. Most enemies I will just walk into, because we will kill them and it'll be faster, easier, and probably a little bit more fun that way as well. Something like this. Look at this. What are you doing? You can't get in here. There's no means or ways on planet Earth for you to hit me. You know, you ever hear of impostor syndrome? Imposter syndrome is the idea that when you're a talented professional, like myself, you know what's funny is that whenever I self-deprecate, people go, oh, don't get down on yourself. You're talented. And then whenever I tell a joke like that, people laugh. And they go, I get it, he's being sarcastic. That's what creates imposter syndrome right there. But imposter syndrome is the idea that, you know, you're a talented professional, you work to get to the top of your craft and industry, happens to game developers, musicians, streamers, etc., etc. They're always talking about it on Twitter, whining about it. I have low self-esteem. Classic millennial problem, right? It's the idea that, you know, despite being well-trained and talented, you look at other people that are doing things and you go, oh my god, you're so much better at this than I am. How do you do that? Nothing gives me imposter syndrome except for the fact that in the 1993 classic Nothing But a G Thing, Snoop Dogg says, but I, somehow, some way, keep coming up with funky blank hits like every single day. That one line has done like more damage to my psyche than any YouTube comment in all time. Cause like, I know, we should not have done that, dude. That was my mistake. I know that Snoop Dogg has come out with many funky hits. Okay? There's no debating that. I have an idea that I think will be fun. I'm going to pick up Book of the Dead, and then I'm going to replace it with that. And then, even though it's going to cost us a spike, at the end of the room, I'm going to pick up Book of the Dead, use it, and we should get 100,000 orbitals. What gets me is that Snoop Dogg claims to be coming up with funky hits every single day. You're telling me, first off, 7-day work week puts you in esteemed company. Secondly, on no day do you work and then just come up with garbage. You know, it's not like on one day you're just coming up with the skits. And I'm sorry to tell you this, Snoop Dogg and every other rapper on the face of planet Earth, but the skits are the worst part of the albums. I understand it's part of hip-hop culture. You know, even To Pimp a Butterfly has skits on it. But the skits are, they're bad. They're not a good part of the album. Everyone's skipping them. They're making their own custom cuts. Where are you? Every day, he's like, okay, Monday, Nothing But a G Thing. Tuesday, you know, gin and juice. Wednesday, drop it like it's hot. Okay, just hit me. If you need to hit me in order to pop up, there you go. Hit me. See if I care. You think at least one of the days he'd have like a Who Let the Dogs Out or something like that, and then he'd come back to work on Thursday and be like, what the heck was I doing yesterday? This is terrible. Remember when Snoop Dogg did the sponsored stream for SOS? And it's one of my favorite Twitch moments because there were people who were genuinely mad about it, but I thought it was hilarious. If you're not familiar, SOS was like it's a battle royale, but it's not really a battle royale. It's like a 16-player pseudo battle royale with a reality TV veneer over top of it. So you have like walkie-talkies, you communicate with your teammate, and you gotta find these relics and then escape the island. But there's also like cameras on you and you cut wrestling-style promos. Like the game is, the actual game itself is pretty bad, but the reality TV stuff inside of the game is pretty hilarious. Snoop Dogg did a sponsored stream for it, and then at one point he took a big hit off of a joint. Hey. And took both of his hands off the keyboard, but his character was still like doing something, interacting, not just auto running. People were like, wait a minute, Snoop Dogg. I think this really calls into question the integrity of this Twitch clip. For me, I was like, this is hilarious. Because, you know, it's already manufactured. Like, Snoop Dogg's not going to be like, hey, man, this game sucks. That would be very surprising. You know, he's a professional. He's played at the NHL All-Star game. He knows, you know, you're there to complete a work order and cash a check. So the fact that he was like, yeah, sure, I'll be on your sponsor stream, but can you just have somebody else play the game? Did you know, and by the way, this is not meant to be an anti-Snoop Dogg comment. Not at all. Snoop Dogg has this reputation as like, you know, he's like the dad of rap now. He's like, oh, Snoop, always talking about marijuana, showing up in TV shows and lean cuisine commercials with Kate Upton and Biz Markie. You're so strange. You're so zany. Did y'all know Snoop Dogg was once on trial for murder? Real, actual, kill someone murder? To the best of my knowledge, he was acquitted. You know what? Let's look it up. Snoop Dogg murder trial. Rapper Snoop Dogg is acquitted of murder, February 21st, 1996. Now, my dude was acquitted, by the way. So I'm not trying to suggest that he got away with it. I'm trying to suggest, you know, he was found by a jury of his peers to be not guilty in the first place. All I'm saying is, I don't know if we have too many, you know, cuddly, family-friendly people out there that have also been on trial for murder. I mean, Ice Cube said, when I'm called off, I got a sawed off, pull the trigger, bodies get hauled off. You too, boy, if you frig with me, the police are gonna have to come and get me off your butt. That's how I'm going out. Anyway, you get the idea. He says a lot of things in that song. But to the best of my knowledge, when they interviewed him about it, you know, like 15 years later, and they're like, hey, you know when the song, it was a good day, where you said, today I didn't even have to use my AK? Plus nobody I know got killed in South Central LA. Today was a good day. Was that like a literal lyric? Like, did you, on an average day, did you use an AK-47? And he was kind of like, nah, man. You know, it's like a metaphor. And, okay, I get it. So, you know, it was bluster. The moon. To some extent, at least. Snoop Dogg was on trial for actual murder. 8 years later, well, the pip's trying to get at you. Drop it like it's hot. So that's a comeback story, dude. To come back from being accused of murder and have like 7 #1 singles. That's amazing. I can't think, like, I'm incredulous right now. I can't think of anything else to say. I always forget about that. I always think about that when I see Ice Cube. And everyone always talks about it, you know, like, are we there yet? Ice Cube is in, like, family-friendly movies. And also the Jump Street films. Barbershop, Beauty Shop, etc., etc. There was a time, for like 5 or 6 years of his life, he was famous for rapping about killing police officers. I'm not saying he shouldn't be famous, by the way. You're talking to a guy who had an NWA poster in his room in college. So it means if you came home from a kegger and came to my dorm room, I'm like, oh, have you heard of them? NWA? I find their passages quite delightful. A glimpse into a geographical and spatial time period I did not exist in. When Eazy-E says, then she'd choke on a wing-ding-ding-a-ling down her throat. I just find it such delightful onomatopoeical wordplay. Yeah, you get the idea. Basically, I was a nerd. But in, like, a funny way, I hope, at least. I'm not insulting Ice Cube. He's very talented. He wrote most of those lyrics, you know, for all the rappers on Straight Outta Compton. I'm just saying it's funny how times change, you know? If Ice Cube can start his career in that position and end up where he is now, what could we accomplish, you know? People were protesting him, burning his records. Now they're like, he and Nia Long are in a family-friendly movie. Should we take the kids to see it? I don't know. What about all that, you know, F the police stuff that came out in the 1990s? They have air conditioning and it's hot outside, Darren. We're gonna go see the movie, okay? Just get a popcorn, you'll feel better. Do parents these days have it so easy? When I was a kid, the only movies I wanted to see in theater were garbage. There's two exceptions. Addams Family was the first movie I ever saw in theaters. Yes, that's where Don't Hurt Me, I'm Ryan came from. If you're not familiar with that, stick around. I'm sure it'll resurface on many other anecdotal opportunities from this point forward. Not in this video, probably, but you get the idea. You know, it's lore. It's a callback episode. And secondarily, it was kind of a golden age for Disney. Now, I would argue that Disney's still in kind of a golden age. But, you know, I saw Aladdin in theaters, Little Mermaid, Lion King. Lots of amazing stuff. Everything else I wanted to see in theaters was trash. My parents would go take me. By the way, don't shoot the messenger on this one, okay? I wanted to see the first Pokemon movie in theaters. My grandma, God bless her, doesn't know anything about Pokemon, went to see it with me. That sucks. Parents these days don't even understand how lucky they have it. Lego Movie, Lego Batman, even Lego Ninjago. Fun, inventive films that are, you know, made for kids, but are enjoyable for the whole family. Almost everything Pixar comes... Like, the worst thing you're going to get with Pixar is a Cars sequel. You know? Grab a soda, grab a popcorn. Enjoy the nice cold movie theater for a couple hours, and then thank your lucky stars they probably won't make a new Planes. You got it easy these days, man. My parents took me to see some real trash. Hey. And the worst part is, I don't know, depending on your age, kids might not even remember and be thankful for it. Like, I remember talking to my mom, and I was like, you know, I don't think I've ever seen the original Ninja Turtles movie. And she was like, are you freaking kidding me? I took you to see the original Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie at the drive-in, and then you bought the VHS, and you cried unless you got to watch it, like, every day for 2 years. And I was like, yeah, I'm sorry, but my brain just doesn't remember that. Thank you so much for the sacrifice that you, a hardworking adult, made in order to do that, but I literally cannot give you any gratification or thank you for it because I have no memory of it whatsoever. All that time is just wasted. Now, I'm sure it's important for me on some kind of a deep down emotional level, like there's all that hidden low-level programming in human beings that we don't really understand. You got to go talk to like a psychiatrist to figure it out. You know, I eat too much because my mom didn't let me watch Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles when I was younger, even though I wanted to. You know, all that hidden stuff that you don't really, as an adult, seems hilarious, but as a kid, if something happens that sets you off course, it can screw you up irreparably forever. So I thank her for that. Like, I turned out relatively okay. Maybe a little callous, but otherwise, you know, well-adjusted to some extent, at least. I genuinely thought that the first time I saw the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie was when I watched it in, like, 2012. Remember all the memorable quotes. You gotta know what a crumpet is to know what cricket is. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 3, I remember. I have memories of watching that myriad times as a child. The movie where the turtles go through a time warp, accidentally end up in feudal era Japan in the Sengoku period, and a bunch of Japanese soldiers end up taking the role of the Ninja Turtles, watching hockey and eating pizza in the sewer. Anyway, I'm kind of rambling now. For now, thanks for watching. I hope you've enjoyed the episode. If you did, click the like button. Helps out a great deal. Of course, subscribe if you want to see more in the future. For now, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.